Now, we've been following the workflow to make machine learning model. First, we defined the problem to solve and then proceeded to the second stage of preparing the date. It took quite all. Now there is a part to train the model. There is another thing we need to do before actually training the model. That's what data split. Will we use all the data we have prepared to train? No, we won't. All the data collected is not used to train the model. You can use about 80% of the data to train model. And then, remaining 20% of the data is used to evaluate a trained model. We study hard with textbooks at school and check how much we study with the test. You can think of it as similar. So, when the data is 100% like this, 80% of them are used for training and the remaining 20% for evaluation. Then we will move back to Azure ML Studio to split the data. It will be ready until the state we made edit metadata. Here I will bring a module for splitting the data. The data splitting module closes the manipulation and the data transformation and has a sample and split below it. If you open sample and split, there is a module that does split data. Take this module out and put it under the edit metadata. And I'll connect it like this. Then split data literally serves to split the data. Then you have to specify how many ratios to divide the data. If you look at the property window on the right, it says that the data will be divided by 5. We don't divide the data by 5. Usually it's like 8, 2 or 7, 3. To divide by 8, 2. I will enter a 8. This means that 80% of the data will be used for students and the remaining 20% will be used for testing. And at the bottom of it, there is a check-marked randomized split. What this means is that when we divide the data by 8, 2, we're going to divide it randomly. When we prepare data, in general, there are many cases in which columns are prepared in descending or ascending order. The data we have is in ascending order by store location and date. If you split it like that, you only learned about points 1 to 40 for training. But when you evaluate later, you have a problem that only evaluates data from 41 to 45 back. To prevent that, when splitting data, you need to check that you want to divide it randomly. And there is something called random seed under it. Random seed means that we will divide the data randomly, but fix the random method. If each time we split data, it comes out differently, the data we split yesterday, today and tomorrow. Every time you practice, it will keep changing. So, we will divide the data randomly, but the role of random seeds is to fix the random method. Here I will enter 9. If you enter 9 in the same way as me, it will be divided by 8, 2 in the same way as my data. And if you leave the number as or enter a different number, the result may be different from what I practice. Then, if you enter this and run selected, the entire data will be divided by 8, 2. When the split data is done, you can see that there are 2 circles at the bottom. So, 80% of the data will come out from the circle in the front and 20% of the data will come from the circle in the back. Let's check this 20% data. If you click the circle to visualize, There are 11 columns like this. Since the number of rows is 20% out of 420,000, you can see that there are about 84,000 data. And if you look at it now, the data is shown randomly. But those who entered the same random seed 9 as me will know that this order is exactly the same. It's good. This way, the data preparation is completely finished. Now all we have to do is choose which algorithm we will train this model with. Before choosing that, let's take a look at the algorithms provided by Azure ML Studio.